My dad was great. God bless his soul. I lost him 3 months ago. And, but he was like, you don't take shit from nobody. You may not be able to beat him up. I was like, well, I don't want to fight nobody.
Hmm.
And he goes, you know what you do? You do your job because they can't beat you if you do your job.
Yep.
And I got that opportunity to do that, and so did you. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have this conversation because there are certain dudes that you have conversations with that understand certain things. And it's like an unwritten rule when you meet men like that where they don't have to say what they say, but you know what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that, John. I don't mean to get too into it, but I remember, and I think anybody who ever met your dad
Oh,
just
thank you.
always had such an awesome opinion of him. And, I was talking to my cousin Tim today, and I was like, hey, man, I'm going on Joba Chamberlain's podcast tonight. And he was like, dude, you remember that time we met Harlan at the Yankee game? And he was just so cool. I'm sure we probably took. I don't even know if we had camera phones back then, but I remember meeting your dad, and he may have been in. Was he in a motorized wheelchair back then? Or
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
and we met him at the stadium, and he always had your jersey on, right? If I remember, he wore your jersey.
No, he just wore a Yankee hat.
Okay, all right. And I remember we met your dad at a game, and think about that. My cousin, 15, 16 years, that had to be maybe 18 years later, is still thinking fondly of Harlan. All these years later. So I thought you'd appreciate knowing that, and I know you recently lost him, so I want to let you know I'm thinking of you guys, and he left his mark on a lot of people, man, and I know he was proud of you, and that's something that you can't buy, and you've carried yourself in a way that left your father proud.
And
And
I will say, Frank, too, it's like knowing dad and getting to spend the life I did with him,
yep.
and not to get emotional by any means, but Father's Day was yesterday, and
Yep.
it was tough.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
tough. The first day without my dad,
Yep.
and my dad was my best friend,
Yep.
and I missed him a lot,
Yeah.
and I missed him a lot. But it was so cool because I got to hear stories, and I'm like, I love posting on social and talking to fans, but it was something that I really wanted to like. I was like, do I post that my dad passed? Like, that's kind of bougie. Like, oh, you're just trying to get clicks, and I'm not trying to because I don't need it. I don't want it.
No, man. Yeah.
But the coolest thing I did, and I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I did it because there were so many pictures of my dad interacting with fans
Mm.
that I never saw because I was on the field.
Yeah.
And I would never have had that if it wasn't for. Social media is shit at times because people take it a different way. And that's why I didn't really want to do it at first. But I was like, I've kind of done some cool things, so let's see if it works. But I really don't care pictures that I got that I would have never have seen if I did not post that. And it was so cool. They're like, he was great. He met us over here and
Yeah,
other
man.
things.
Yeah.
And I put it at his memorial, and it was just so cool. And I can't thank the fans enough and the people that have followed me. And have I fucked up? Yes, 100%. But they stuck with me and they rode with me, and we had a great run. And it was really cool just to see the stories. I had no idea about half of these.
Yeah.
Dad, Dad would give me half of it. He'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I met this really cool person from, Rhode Island or something." And I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that doesn't tell me much, Dad. Sorry."
Yep.
But I got to see all these things, and I spent a lot of time, and I know I couldn't get back to everybody, but for everybody that did that, I am so grateful. And I am so thankful that my dad got to spend that time with you guys, and I got that time with my father. And that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, man. I appreciate even you saying all that, and my dad and I think we're skipping out of line a little bit, but it just kind of came to my mind, and my dad and I have had an interesting relationship throughout our years, like all of us, right? I mean, Fish, I'm sure you've had it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all had those things, right? And um, yesterday I drove down and had lunch with my parents, and you gotta keep going, and your parents at the end of the day are kind of like the only two who stand behind you, and in some cases one, where it might just be your dad or your mom, and Joba, you said you've messed up, man. Everyone has, we all have, and at the end of the day, all we got is just 24 hours every single day to try to do right. And I remember I was talking to this one guy once, kind of one of my mentors in life. And he said to me, like, it's just crazy. He's like, if you go through any given day and make it to the end of the day, that's miracle number one in your life. If you make it to any given day and you helped one person that day, that's miracle number two. Every single one of us has the chance at two miracles every 24 hours. And dude, I gotta tell you, when he put that to me that way, I was like, holy shit, like that just made so much sense to me. Like, wow, man, all I got to do is make it through today and help one person. And, to just kind of wrap all that stuff up. Like, we go through bad stuff so we can help other people go through bad stuff, and whether it's the loss of a parent, it's, something to your career, something in your personal life. I guarantee you, every one of us, like, have done something not great that we're going to help somebody go through something similar at some point in our lives. So I don't know how this just got so deep. But
I didn't expect us to get this deep, Frank. But
yeah, man, look.
It's all
Sorry.
good.